working. We'll see. That's just how I'm going to start every stream. Is I think it's working. Um, so I'm waiting to see. I've got my old cell phone set up next to me, as per usual, checking to make sure that my stream is actually coming through. There we go. Okay, yeah, it's working. I look retarded, but that's fine. So, what's up, everybody? If you, as you see by the title and the description, we're doing something a lot different today. I have to fix my computer. So I think I mentioned it last week's stream that I had been having some issues with RAM and all this other stuff, and I was going to diagnose it over the week. Well, turns out I was right. It was a RAM stick that was bad, and what I think happened is it took out one of the slots on the board that's in the PC right now. I've actually got my phone leaned up against the PC, but it took out one of the RAM slots, and so when I swapped out sticks to try and see if it was a stick issue or a slot issue, when I put the bad stick into the other slot, it nuked the other slot. So now my computer will not post no matter what I do. So what we ended up doing is hitting up Amazon. So I've got 2 new sticks of DDR4, 16 gigabyte RAM, 3600 megahertz, and a brand new motherboard. And that's why I'm doing this as a live stream, because in order to fix it, I have to completely dismantle and put back together my computer. Now, caveat to this, I am not a computer builder. I am not that. I know next to nothing about computers. Like I can put them together. I put this whole computer together fine. I was using old parts, and I think that has a lot to do with why I've had the issues that I've had. So if I get terminology wrong, or if it looks like I'm doing something wrong, be patient with me. This is not a computer fixing channel. This is not a computer building channel. This is a gaming channel, and I am trying to just put my computer back together so I can do video game streams. But so I mean, there ain't really much else to talk about. Pardon any mess that you see. Let me see here. I think I can switch my. God, I feel like a freaking old person right now. There we go. Nope. Okay. So yeah, basic tools over here. Got some snips, some pliers, screwdriver, thermal paste, because I am having to pull the CPU off the board. Got me a flash drive. The laptop's hanging out back there. That's going to be for when if I need to do a BIOS update while I'm putting this thing back together. But we will see. So this is the computer. It's not a bad little computer. You see, I got my old logo up here. I'm planning on getting some new stickers printed out for the logos, but yeah. So, it's a really basic, I mean, it's a budget build, real simple Cooler Master. Yeah, the old board that I was using does not have an IO shield anymore, so that's wonderful. But, I mean, it's been getting the job done. There haven't been too many games that I've wanted to play that I couldn't play, and the 2 that I've wanted to play that I couldn't play, apparently... Apparently that was caused by the games themselves. One of the games is Cyberpunk, which we're not. I think I bitched about that last week, so I'm gonna leave that be. One of the games was Cyberpunk. The other game was Valheim. What happened was when I loaded the game up. Damn, I was hoping that was gonna catch more of the computer. When I loaded the game up, my CPU or my GPU immediately cranked to fucking 10, and I was damn near thermal throttling right off the rip as soon as I started trying to play it, and I was just in the menu screen, and that's not okay. So we no Valheim for me. Don't worry, the ring light is just there so that y'all can see, and actually it gives me a little bit of light as well. As soon as I take that cover off, though, that should straighten things up. Again, I'm not a professional computer fixer, builder, anything else. I know enough to know how to take this apart and get it fixed and working again. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Some more updates. I talked about this last week, I'm pretty sure. The map, I was trying to replicate my county. I've been working on it off screen, And it's going okay so far. It's not, I don't know. I'm thinking about just, I was forced to start it over once already, and I might end up, oh, yeah, by the way, if you're ever working on a computer, get you one of uh, those tabletop spinny things. I've got it sitting on right now. This thing makes stuff so much easier because I can just rotate the computer around depending on what I need to access that moment. But but yeah, so the map, it's not quite turning into what I want it to, and from what I'm seeing right now, the yeah, the the game devs are saying it's still the customization stuff that I need access to are going to be a couple months out. Like the map editing stuff and all that, that's still a couple months out. So I don't know whether I want to keep working on that or if I want to switch back over, or if I want to just start over once the new map editing tools are out. That way I can try to set the area up to mimic kind of the resources we have, because we don't have any oil, we don't have really any metal mining going on in my little county. What we do have though is a ton of timber and a ton of agricultural. So building a map that focuses on those two would be a lot more realistic. All right, so I think I talked about in my first return stream that when I first moved back here, I was actually I was employed with a local peach farm, and I was employed as their mechanic. Mostly their mechanic. I also, ran equipment, operated equipment, planted trees, uh, built and destroyed earthworks, that kind of thing. So I was just a general catch-all worker for the farm. I had to know how to do everything and was expected to be able to do everything as soon as I was told to. So one thing that I learned while I was doing that was basically the smart way to do this type of work. When you have something that consists of a lot of parts that you have to take apart. God, I always hate popping this loose. You got a lot of parts that you have to take off and put back together. It's a good idea that as you're taking them apart, put them down in the order that you take them off. And then as you're putting the computer back together, putting the thing back together, then you know what order you need to be messing with each part in. That's something that I always had a table set up behind me. I always had a table set up behind me when I was working we were doing like head jobs on tractors and that kind of thing. I shouldn't actually need this anymore. It's a little Wi-Fi card. But I believe, yeah, this one's got built-in Wi-Fi, but I'll still set it off to the side like you're supposed to. Okay, let's see. What can I get away with leaving in here? Maybe the power supply, hopefully. This is the one issue that I might run into, and I won't know until I get this board in here. Is there are occasionally fitment issues with this particular case and that board. They don't always like to mesh up and play nice with each other. And if that ends up being the case, that's all right. This will turn from fixing my computer to, hey, watch me take a drill and tap and die to my case and make it do what I want it to do. Make it fit, kind of thing. Because you see, I'm not really using any of this space up here. This is all just dead space right now. And if I can get away with it, mounting the power supply up here instead of back here, it'd be nice. It'd be kind of unfortunate just because of how the plug is situated on here, but I can work around all of that. I got a freaking welder outside. We'll get just as crazy as we have to. All right. My board is completely disconnected now. Let me get the fan off of here, and I should be able to take the board, the CPU, all of that out as one piece. And we can go ahead and test fit the board. Now, this is one thing. This is going to be kind of the scary part. Is when it comes time to start the fitment work on the board. There's a there's a phenomena in the electronics industry known as ESD, it's electrostatic discharge, that can absolutely kill a board. The voltages that electrostatic discharge, basically a static shock, the voltages those can hit can absolutely destroy a computer. And it's extremely low amperage, and that's why it just kind of pops you, and it doesn't really hurt. You just, you feel it. But when you're talking about doing it on sensitive electronic components, that little discharge can hurt the components. So typically when you're doing something like this, it's a good idea to have yourself grounded somehow. Either they make like wrist straps that you can attach to metal that'll ground you. There's all different kinds of stuff. Now, I don't possess any of those fancy tools because I don't do this on a regular basis. So I'm just going to be very cautious and, occasionally tapping something that is grounded. The stand that this ring light that's holding my fan on, or that's holding my phone, that stand is grounded. So I'm just gonna, occasionally touch it because it's 15 degrees where I live right now, so I'm wearing fleece pant feet. Sorry, the Red Bull is not kicked in yet. I'm wearing fleece pants, and those are known for creating a lot of static that can then discharge into your board. Don't want that. It's bad juju. Okay. I gotta say, I've been running this thing now for about 3 weeks, and I haven't cleaned it or nothing. These little magnetic guards that this case have on it. You barely see it in the video right now, but these little screens do a really good job of keeping the dust out. A little dirty around the power supply, but it's not too bad. All right, do I have any more screws that are holding the board down? Yep, there's one. Get that out. Okay. And I think this last one right here should be it. I don't think I'm going to be so lucky as to not have to. Alright, there we go. Okay, we got the motherboard out. Nice. So I don't think I'm going to be so lucky as to be able to not have, to just be able to drop the new board on in there. I really don't think that's going to end up happening. I can dream, though. I can dream. But we will have to see. I'm probably going to have to flip this case over, open up the back of it, and start rerouting all my power stuff. But yeah, we're switching over. We're actually doing a little bit of an upgrade too. So this is an A320 board. These were like the bottom of the barrel boards that came with the AM4 architecture. That came out, I think, back in 2017. And I remember when all this came out. This was like I was fiending for the setup that I've got right now. Ryzen 7 processor, 16 gigs of RAM, nice graphics card, but not too over the top. It's like I don't do high level gaming. I don't do competitive shooters or anything like that. I don't do like 4K gaming. None of that matters to me personally. I'm fine with 1080p. I don't really much care for like top tier graphics and all that stuff. I'm more about doing the games that have story driven stuff. Or good God, I hate that all you can see is my freaking hair. My hair has gotten quite long, but it's just like taking a car off your tire. You want to crisscross. You don't want to apply or take away too much pressure from one side or another while you're taking this apart. Especially when you're putting it back together. I guess it doesn't really matter when you're taking it off, but putting it back together, that's usually important. It spreads out the thermal paste better if you've got even pressure as you're putting this on. Okay, it should be back pretty much loosened. Yep. All right. Okay, so we got our back plate. All right, let's take the cooler off, get to the CPU. Oh, I don't like this part. Oh, that's not good. For the record, it's not supposed to do that. Double check the pins. All right, I'm not seeing any bent pins or anything like that. Seeing what appears to be a pet hair stuck down in there. All right, well. Bye, old board. You've done your job. You're out. I gotta get this damn processor off of this cooler. And again, I don't like doing this part because it feels so sketchy. There we go. All right. Well, you can't argue with my thermal paste application. Jesus. Oh no! Don't get in the pins. Okay. But yeah, you can't really argue with the thermal paste application. I think it got plenty on there. But all right. So what do I need to do here? I'll be right back. I need to go get some paper towels and some rubbing alcohol because I managed to get as set up as I possibly could and still managed to forget the one part. So be right back. Okay. Put that down. Search for thermal paste off my fucking hand. There you go. I'm back. Remember I told my girlfriend I stole a couple of her makeup pads to help me with getting the stuff off of there. Alright. Okay, so yeah, now we need to just clean all this old thermal paste off. I tell you, building this computer has been one of the trippiest experiences of my life because I've had to take apart and put this computer back together like 4 times now. The first time when I was putting it together, I had 2 different AM4 boards that I was working with. One of them didn't work. Of course, the first one that I picked did not work. The second one worked great. So I had to take it apart, put it back together to get to the second one. Then I realized that I had probably not used enough thermal paste because I was looking at old videos of how to build stuff and or how to build computers, and I realized, okay, I probably didn't use enough thermal paste. So I took it back apart. I was right. I had not used enough thermal paste. Took it back apart, cleaned it off like I'm doing right now, put on the correct amount of thermal paste, and then put it back together. Okay, so that was number 2. Then I got my I got the new processor for Christmas, take it apart, put it back together, get it functional. I ended up having to partially disassemble and reassemble the computer a few times then because I was having trouble getting it to post. Just needed a BIOS update, but I didn't know that because I don't know what I'm doing. So that was time 3. And now this will be the 4th time I have taken apart and put back together the same computer. So, but every time I've done it, I've ended up, the computer's been run better and worked better every single time that I've done it. So, you know, I can't get too upset with it. It's really tedious. And in some situations, I don't mind tedious. This is not one of those situations. But a lot of it's not coming from inexperience per se. A lot of the tedium is just me trying to get this thing running as best it can. I'm hoping that after I put this back together today, that'll be it for a long time as far as working on it goes. So I've said in a couple of, and I think the last 2 live streams, when it comes to these newer AAA titles, I'll be on console for those, and I'm probably gonna get a capture card to do streams with those. Like GTA 6, I'm absolutely gonna feature on my channel, and I'm gonna need a capture card to do that, just because I'm not willing to shell out the kind of cash it'll take to run that game at the high levels that I would want to run it at, because I want to be able to see that game in 4K and, like, you know, really high quality, crisp, realistic graphics, all that kind of shit. Not doing that with a computer. I'm not going to be able to. So I'll run it on the console. Plus, too, it's going to come out first on console. They're not going to release it on PC immediately, so that gives me a leg up. All those people out there talking about, oh no, PC Master Race, console Master Race, blah 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 blah. Both have their pluses and minuses. And they are not a mutually exclusive set, and each one has its benefits. Shit, looking for mods the other night on looking for mods on the console is a nightmare on Fallout 4. But if you don't want to use the in-game mod manager, it's a nightmare on PC as well. You get more mods, but trying to find them through the in-game mod manager is just trash. Now, you can go on Nexus and directly download the mods and then patch them into the game files and all that kind of stuff yourself, but that's time consuming. I don't want to do all that. I work a full-time job. I've got a child and a partner at home. I want to play my video games while I have time to play my video games, not set up to play my video games and then not even get to play them. All right, cooler's pretty clean. We'll set that off to the side to dry. Now on to the CPU. It's a fucking mess. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock this back into the slot. We're not going to care too much just because this is the old board. I'm not going to be tweaking over all of that. Shit, which way is this going to be? There we go. Here. Align the arrows. So we're going to very carefully place this back in the slot. We don't want to bend any pins while we're working on it, obviously. Now, you can unbend pins, but it's tricky to get right. And not getting it right, best case scenario, computer just won't post. Worst case scenario, computer won't ever work again. Ah, shit. Yep. See? Bent pin. Fuck. All right. I have successfully unbent pins on these computers before, so I wasn't planning on doing that today. Let me go get my highly technical tool for unbending pins. Such a technical and high-end tool that I have to that I keep it on my nightstand just to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. From one of the top-rated tool companies in the world, Milwaukee. I'm not, again, do not take anything I say as a how-to or as a correct way of doing it. This is probably not the correct way of doing this. I have done it before. It worked for me the last time. We're going to see if it works again. lined up on that row. How are we looking down this line here? All right, I can't see the pen standing out from the rest of them anymore. So I reckon I probably did that right. Again, do not do anything that I am doing with any expectation of it working. If you bend your pens, try to do what I did, and you fuck your computer up, it is on you. I take absolutely no responsibility. I am not a professional computer repairman. I am an idiot with a camera and a box cutter. So, yeah, don't do what I'm doing. Shit, don't drop the fucking CPU. At that point, that's past being not a professional. That's just fucking embarrassing. Okay. Now, the reason that I'm putting this back in the old slot is just so I can put a little, elbow grease into it while I clean it. That's literally it. There's no purpose in probably if I could have gotten the fan loose, I would have gotten the fan loose and then taken the old CPU out of the slot, but that was not what was in the cosmos for me. Yeah, I'll just give us a few good wipes. Now, something goofy I did when I was actually picking out the CPU, when I say picking out, when I sent my Amazon wish list to some family, was I picked the 5700G. I forgot that these processors actually came with the integrated graphics model. So I picked out the 5700G, not realizing G was for graphics. So I can technically run my computer without a graphics card, but being that I play older AAA titles and graphics intensive games, I don't want to do that. I don't think, because I might be wrong on this, but if I'm not, then when you have a computer with integrated graphics on the CPU, if you start trying to run graphics intensive games, it throttles the CPU. So it'll look great, but it'll go slow as shit. And again, I'm not big on the graphics. I don't mind having pretty graphics. That's the whole reason I have my console and a 4K TV, is so if I want to see stuff with pretty graphics, I can. But I value performance and story first and foremost. I want good performance. That's number one, is good performance. I want to be able to run something without it being stuttery or sluggish or anything like that. Because me personally, that is one of the most nightmare-inducing things to me, is having a game that you can't even try to appreciate just because it's bugging so bad. That's what made me get Cyberpunk. I bought Cyberpunk on sale on Steam, and then returned it 2 hours later. Once the refund hit my account, went on my Xbox and bought it there instead. It was actually like $1 more on the Xbox, but I didn't give a shit. And I actually just finished my very first playthrough of Cyberpunk. Holy crap. If you haven't gone on my Instagram, then you're not, we're 3 years past the release of Cyberpunk, if I'm not mistaken. So I'll say, I said spoiler warning just because I'm a nice guy. It would have been a spoiler to me. But if you have played through the end, just go watch that video. If you don't care about having the end spoiled for you, at least partially, go watch it till the end, or watch that video on my Instagram channel. That it did not have to be. It did not have to go as hard as it did. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, I got done. I got done with that game, and I was left with a sense of satisfaction and just fulfillment that I have not had since my very first playthrough of Fallout 4. That I had bought a game that was worth buying, that was worth playing, that the story was awesome, the graphics were great, the environmental storytelling, that just it felt like a complete game. And I know Cyberpunk got a lot of hate because of how just bug riddled it was. And don't get me wrong, I was hitting bugs. We're 3 years into this game, and they finally drop a DLC, but they still haven't patched like basic bugs. You know, goofy shit happening with the hands and stuff. Like this iconic scene right at the end of the game where they're just kind of they're trying to set up what your story is as you're leaving, and I'm getting graphical glitches where I have two fucking hands. And it's like, what are we doing here, guys? What are we doing here? But yeah, I'm sorry, y'all cannot fucking see what I'm doing. But I'm mostly just I'm getting the excess. There's still a little bit of thermal paste sitting around the edges of it. Yeah, just I felt like I had played a complete game. It was a good feeling to know that the game is still like that. Like Starfield was okay. It felt very. It was supposed to be an RPG and it felt linear, you know, and I think that's not how it's supposed to be. Here y'all can see my graphic or my CPU here. Like I said, this was a dream CPU back in the day. This is what I was desperate to have. Ryzen 7. Now, I wanted a Z series board, not a B series board, but it's okay. This is the Z series was back when I was still like contemplating getting into building higher-end computers, doing overclocking, doing that kind of shit. I'm not doing overclocking. Again, it kind of goes back to like with the mods and stuff. I don't have the time to spend learning how to do all that and then doing it. And I don't have the money to spend if I break it. I got lucky with this. Like I make decent money at my job, and I got lucky with this that the thing that broke was not something that's so outlandishly expensive that I can't just pay for it. And two, it's a component that doesn't typically break. You know, it's a component that if it breaks, it's probably only going to break once, and it's because it needed to be replaced anyway. All right, so here's our new board. See what kind of fancy stuff comes with it. Did I get any stickers? I don't see stickers. All right, got my IO shield. Got a handful of, looks like LAN cables. Oh, cool, I get new antennas for the Wi-Fi. They are identical to the antennas that I've already got, but it's okay. All right, let me go here. Thank you for choosing an MSI product. You're quite welcome, guys. Ooh, hello. Nice little badge. That's going on the computer. Got some new stickers to put on it too, so. Quick installation guide, huh? I think I can figure out the installation guide myself. I think. I'm basically going to reverse what I just got done doing. Alright, they gave me this ancient piece of technology here. It's nice of them to include a Frisbee, right? Alright. Well, hold off on messing with these. These just look like regular SATA cables. I've already got some run through the computer for the drive that's in there now. So I'll hold off on opening these. I'm definitely going to need that IO shield though. That's something that frustrated me with the computer, with the board that I was using, was the lack of an IO shield. All this crap out of the way. Put y'all off to the side. Shing, sparkle, sparkle. Look, I'm a fiend for a old trope. Don't judge me too much. All right. So this is the part that gets kind of dicey. So electrostatic discharge, like we were talking about before. So you see it says all over here, static sensitive device. Now this bag right here has actually got a grid built into it that's meant to keep that from happening. Now, if my understanding is correct, you can actually use the bag as a thing to sit your board on while you're assembling it. Let me check the instructions here. It might actually tell me about that. But I think there is a way that you can use the bag that it comes in as a place to, put your shit on. It doesn't specifically say. God, yeah, they've got nothing but damn. They've got nothing but damn. What you call pictures. Barely anything written out, and then a bunch of QR codes to YouTube. Skip that. All right, let's take a look. See here. All right. Before I even touch this damn board, I'm gonna go ahead and get off with my fleece blanket with my fleece pants. Set that off to the side. Okay, touch some metal. Touch some metal. I think we're good. Okay. All right, very nice. Very nice, very nice. All right, got us a nice little M.2 shield on here too. That's cool. So, yeah, if I want to put an M.2 drive in this, it looks like it's one of the hinge style ones. Maybe. Again, could be talking out my ass. I have no idea. Alright, good thing we got the Wi-Fi card on here because I've only got one PCIe Express lane. I've got the two little ones down here at the bottom. I could use those for a capture card and an audio card later on, but I'm not really looking to mix like audio and stuff like that, so I don't really think I'll need that. Alright, so first step, we're definitely going to have to get these old brackets off. Those don't really do me much good. The way that these are made, they have a plate that goes in the back, and then the screws on my cooler here, those go through the board into the plate at the back. So we'll take these off. We'll set this off, these little brackets off to the side. Like I said, I should never need them. I think that for some old, taller coolers, that's what they use, but I like these really slim coolers that the processor actually comes with. So what I'm going to try and do is basically put this board back on put this board back how I had that one when I took it off, or took it out of the computer. So I'll have the cooler and the CPU already mounted with the RAM sticks already in it, and then go from there. I am going to need to pull up the guide on this one though, because I'm going to have to see. All right, actually no, it tells you on here DIMM B2, DIMM A2. It says those first, which would lead me to believe that means that A and B2 need to have RAM sticks put in those before you populate into the other ones. That makes sense to me. Okay. Let's go ahead and load our CPU up. Double check. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I think I still see something down in there. So looks like they got rid of whatever it was. So there's nothing on my board. Okay. And then, so see on the end of a CPU, there's a gold little arrow right here. The gold arrow is mimicked up here. And if you look on your slot, at least for the AM4 boards and processors, you look on your slot, there's a little arrow right there at the corner that tells you what orientation that your processor needs to be in. So drop that bad boy down in now. Now you should not need to use any force to put a CPU in the socket, and the CPU itself should drop in without any problems. Now it's not going to be sitting there perfectly flat until you lock the CPU into position. So you don't want to slide it, you don't want to do any of that. You want to come down as straight as you possibly can and let it just drop on in, nice and gentle-like, right? So then, lock her in place. And now my CPU is sitting perfectly flush with the top of the socket. That's probably a good sign. Again, I'm not a professional. I don't know what I'm talking about. But every time my computer's worked, that's the orientation it's been in, so that's what we're going with. It's worked every other time. This is probably fine. All right. Just a little bit of thermal paste. I'm using Arctic MX4. I have no idea if this is good or bad. I will say I've not had any heat issues on this or my old CPU the whole time I've been running it, especially once I got that new fan. So we're going to stick with what we got. Now, I believe that these little dots right here, there we go. I believe these little dots right here indicate that that's how much thermal paste you're supposed to apply. But everything I've ever remember watching from 2017 and all the ones that I've recently watched all say P-size drop. Right dead center of the thing, P-size drop. So that's what we're going with. All right. So that's about the size of a pea. Okay. Clean all that off. All right. Now, orientation of the fan. I suppose you can put it either way. Now, what's annoying though is my board is going to be, that's the back, this will be the top. So my board's going to be in that orientation. So I can't get the AMD to point either direction. Now, the last time I did it, I put it this way just so this little ledge right here doesn't interact with the DIMM slots and cause space issues. But, all right, so go ahead. Now, how much compound did I use compared to, I didn't even clear the damn dot. A little more. There we go. That should be enough. If it's not, I'll know pretty quickly because my computer will start having heat issues. All right. So we'll get this lined up. What does it line up? Does it fit in those holes? There we go. All right. Fan settled down onto my goop. Don't think the plate that it came with will work with this fan. I should. Right? Okay. It was just one of the screws was sitting funny, that's all. Alright, so kind of like I was saying with the whole car tire analogy earlier, you want to go in a like every other one kind of direction. So make sure each one bites. And this is going to help even out the thermal paste. Make sure it squishes all in the same, it all kind of squishes around on the board. So you keep applying pressure evenly. So that one needs to bite. I haven't yet. Nope, get in there. I'm certain there's probably a torque spec on there. But the professional computer builders on YouTube I've watched, I've never seen them pull out a torque wrench for putting on a freaking fan. So I'm not going to today. I do own a torque wrench. I do have the tools, but that's excessive. This isn't some government supercomputer that decides who gets nuked. This is a gaming PC built by a novice. Imagine being told that you have to buy an $80, $90 torque wrench in order to properly assemble a computer. Okay, yeah, definitely more thermal paste than I needed, but that shouldn't be an issue. Make sure this thing's good gluten tight. We're using German specs here. We're going to gluten tight. Okay, so that one's still a little light. Okay, that's tight there. Now, these screws do have a bottom out depth on them. So once you hit that bottom out depth, don't keep turning. You snap one of these screws off in there. I have done that in a head of a tractor. It is a fucking nightmare. If you're lucky, you might be able to get the extract the screw or the bolt without having to worry about doing anything else. But if you're unlucky, which we were in this situation, I had to we had to actually tap out. We had to extract the old screw, which ruined the threads of the hole. We had to tap out the hole and put new threads inside of this hole. So you have to drill it out smooth and then go in there with a tap and tap the hole out, like cut new threads into the hole. It's not good. It is not good, not good, not good. All right. All right, so we got Vengeance LPX. This was the highest rated. So satisfying. This was the highest rated RAM for the price point that I was at on Amazon. So that's why I went with it. That's kind of how I shop for things is, I'll check the price. The price point matters, obviously, but what matters to me more is what do the reviews look like? How many reviews are there? That's the big one. Something that's only got 100 reviews that are all 5-star versus something that has, a 4.8, but it's got 60,000 reviews. Yeah, I'm going with the 4.8 every single time, especially if it's in my price point. Even if it's a little more expensive than I wanted to spend right off the rip, that's fine, because what that tells me is that it has been a widely tested product by consumers, a widely purchased product by consumers, and the reviews are mostly good. Okay. All right, now comes the scary part. Does the board fit the case? Oh, we still got to put the I/O shield on the case. I forgot about that. Go ahead and knock that out real quick. Oh, I have a flash BIOS button? Oh, that is so wonderful. And I have to do all that stupid shit with the frickin' brack. I don't have to do all the dumb shit with the messing with the battery and all that. I can just flash it by pushing a button. That's so nice. It's a good feature. Thought out. Love when companies that build this shit actually think about their end user instead of what's easiest for them to manufacture. They think about what's easiest for the consumer to use. That's forever a purchase point of mine when it comes to buying products, tools, cars, what you name it. If it's purchasable, I want to see a company put time and effort into making a good product for the end user, not something that was easy for them to build. And hey, bonus points if you can do both, but if your whole existence is selling products to consumers, I would think you would want your product to be as consumer friendly as possible. Anytime a company can do that, it's good shit. All right, let's see how badly am I going to have to mangle this case to get this thing to fit in there. I don't think we're going to have a fitment issue at all. That is so nice. All right. Let's get you down in there. I am probably going to have to pop the back of the computer open just so I have better access to my cables and everything. But it looks like, for the most part, everything lines right back up with where it was. Awesome. Oh, you don't understand how happy that makes me. I was sitting here thinking I was going to have to redo all the wiring back behind the board, my cable management, all of that shit. And, don't get me wrong, I don't mind cable management, but I don't know of anybody that likes it, Yeah, let's go ahead and plug you up. We'll pop the back of the case open and route some wires that way. I'm not gonna be too persnickety about that. I've gotten lucky that I didn't need to completely dismantle the case, so I'll take what I can get with and run with it. Here, I'm gonna get the board lined up with the I/O shield. I probably could have put the damn board on the I/O shield on the board and then put the whole thing in at once, but why on earth would I do that? That makes too much sense. Okay. There's a
fucking... The hell is that? Is that a fan? That's the header wire of the fan. Okay. Get out of there. Get out of my way. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, all right. Okay. Okay. Nice. Squish that IO shield into the board. Use it a little bit more. Kind of. It's highly technical work, okay? I know it. I'm just. What you got going on there, buddy? That doesn't look right. That does not look right at all. Yeah, you're blocking up my fucking Ethernet port. Okay, so you probably need to be folded up. And an Ethernet port comes in, and then you. Yeah, you gotta bite down on it, don't you? I'm wondering if I wasn't actually like supposed to put the IO shield on first. Where's the instructions? What did that tell me? Yeah, no, this is saying put the IO shield in the box and then put the computer into the IO shield. So yeah, I'm doing this the right way. I don't understand why it's damn complicated. I'm not going to freak too much though. I can see the BIOS flash button. I can get to all my plugs. Everything looks nice and neat. There's no like little bits of metal sticking into any of these plugs that could cause a short or an issue. So we'll call that a success and leave it be. Alright, let's screw this damn thing back down and start reassembling this damn computer, because I can tell you what, your boy is ready to get this thing powered up and see if I have a functional computer. Oops, sorry. Functional computer or not. So here we are. Alright, so we'll knock out our fan header. Ah, damn it. Shit, I'm gonna have to pull it back open. Alright, I'll do that in a second. I'm gonna go ahead and get these get all these little plugs plugged up. Let's see here. I need case fan. I need a plug for a fan. Pump fan. Nope, we're not doing a pump. I will never do water cooled. I see way too many pictures and videos of people's shit burning out because they had water cooling loops built into them. And I just, even the AIOs, I don't trust it, man. I just do not trust it. And I understand that we have come a very long way with water cooling, and that those AIOs are designed to be just the antithesis of not going to leak. But I don't trust it. And I don't think there's a damn thing wrong with me not trusting it. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so this plug goes in this way now. Different. Oh, wait, I should probably put some fucking screws in this, huh? Stop plugging up shit, dumbass. Okay. But yeah, this, don't get me wrong, water cooled looks awesome, but basically, unless I have enough money that I can put into the project that I can build the computer twice, I'm not going to ever do water cooling. If I got like 10 grand to build a computer with, I'm going to build a $5,000 computer that's water cooled and have another $5,000 standing by to completely repair that computer once the loop gives out. Now, I mean, I get the AIO ones are not nearly as risky, not nearly as expensive, and that's all fine and good. But I mean, look, if you're gonna water cool, I'm sorry, that feels like kind of like, you know, why buy the Toyota if you can get the Lexus? You know, right now I'm building a Toyota. This is my Toyota. Once I have Lexus money, I'll do Lexus things. But until then, I'm gonna build my Toyota. And you don't buy a Lexus if you can't afford to replace and repair the Lexus. And I saw a post in a car forum I'm on the other day talking about This guy had a 10-year-old Lexus, took it to the dealership to get the brakes and rotors done, and he was looking at $1,600 for brakes and rotors on a 10-year-old car. Nah, son. Just nah, son. You know, what is it worth to you? Yeah, that's I can do brakes and rotors. I will never, ever again in my life, as well, I mean, until I'm like old and physically incapable of doing it, I will never again in my life pay for somebody to do my brakes and rotors on any of my vehicles. Even I got a big ass truck out there, my work truck. I'm not gonna pay somebody to do the brakes and rotors on my truck. And I got drums on the back too. Like I've got the complicated brakes, the pain in the ass brakes. But okay, board secured, not going nowhere. Cool. All right, that's for my GPU. That's a SATA cable, so it's going to be going to my hard drive. That's all plugged in on here now. Yeah, I'm going to have to reroute the wiring. That plugged in there. Are you plugged in? I hear a click. I want a click. Give me a click. A nice, loud, satisfying click. Please. If you'd be so kind. It doesn't feel like it's plugged all the way in. It doesn't click. And I definitely don't want to slam it down on this board too hard because, you know, this is a brand new board. I've had it sitting at the house now for 2 days. It took everything in me not to just go ahead and do it and just not even bother with telling y'all this, but I think I said it the other week, is like, this is not just going to be a gaming channel. It's going to be a mostly gaming channel, but you know, there's going to be other stuff that I do too. Yeah, and I think this very much qualifies as other stuff. What do y'all reckon? I don't think there's anybody watching right now. Nope. Nope. Just me alone with my computer and my thoughts. But, except for what I'll say again, that is alright with me. Not bothered by that in the slightest. Let's see here. What all you guys do? So, power LED, HDD LED, power switch. Where are all those plugs on this board? Alright, way on down in here. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? So power LED plus and minus. Alright, so power LED plus minus. You go on the top left. Plus on the left hand side. Alright. HDD LED plus minus. Go on the bottom left. Power switch plus minus, top right. And reset plus minus. I really wish you would I feel about that, but okay. Alright, power switch top, yep. Reset switch at the bottom. This looks like it's a slightly different layout than my last board was, but that's okay. Alright. Get that done. Let's see, USB. I think all of that was handled by this little header right here. Alright, is there anything else that needs to get plugged in on the top of the board that I'm not seeing? JRGB, that's kind of cool. I can do, there's RGB headers built into this, this box here. So I can actually do like an RGB setup if I wanted to. M.2. I think that's about it for what I need to do on top of the board. I've only got 2 fans. I've got the one in the, well, technically there's 3. There's one inside my power supply, but I've only got the one sitting on the CPU and then the one in the case. I could add more fans if I want to, but yeah, that's the point. All right, slap the graphics card back in there. It's a decent graphics card. I bought it used. It's a XFS or XFX 580, I believe. Yeah, 580, RX 580. So another AMD card. This is a whole AMD machine. When all that stuff with Ryzen and all started, coming across or doing an AMD build is all I wanted to do. I mean, the price point to the power that you had, I couldn't argue with that. You know, they were doing what I think a company is, you know, kind of morally obligated to do. They were giving you the best product you could get at a fair price point. And when Ryzen and all that came out, they were priced at about half of their nearest equivalent Intel stuff. So, you know, you had, oh man, I'm gonna have a slot open there. That's kind of annoying. So like you had you'd be like a 0.1 gigahertz off on a CPU with all the same other features, you know, overclocking and all that kind of stuff. You'd be 0.1 gigahertz off, and the Intel processor was twice the price. And you know, the long running joke with AMD is that they were better space heaters than they were gaming machines. But I will say, I've not had, with the exception of trying to open Valheim, I've not had any type of thermal issue whatsoever from the computer. It runs quiet, even with this old graphics card in there and the older fans and stuff. It runs super, super quiet. It runs pretty good temps. I barely ever see it get above like 75, 77. And, you know, I'm not going for an ice cold rig. That's not even remotely feasible. I just want something, again, I keep saying it, I'm going to keep saying it. I want something that's going to perform at its best, but at a price point that makes sense to me. You know, I could probably build a computer with these identical specs from Intel and easily would spend twice of what I got. I'm not saying that AMD is a better product. I'm saying that they are a far more affordable and they're more consumer minded. They're more like starter, and this is not it's like a high tier starter build. You know, this is definitely not anything I'm going to be competitive on Cinebench and all that kind of stuff with, but it is a better built starter computer. You know, I kind of do want to use the other SATA cables now just because they're black and everything else inside the computer is black. But no, I'm not going to worry about rerouting those SATA cables right now. All right, so here we are. Let's see if this will work the way I want it to. Switching it up a little bit. Go. Bear with me, guys. I'm trying to readjust the little stand I've got my phone sitting on right now so that y'all can see what I'm doing on the inner back side of the computer. Yeah, how many other gaming channels do this, right? Like they'll list out their specs and they'll talk about the computer. They might have the pretty thing sitting in the background, but how often do you actually get to watch the thing come to life? All right, ignore the mess in the background, please. I know this is. I mean, it's not even a mess. It's just that's where we got all of our old bags and stuff. All right, let's see here. Uh-oh. Project Hobby. Say LOL. What's the LOL? Do tell. Yeah, this is about to be the nightmare part. I've got to open up and show you all my cable management. My horrendously ugly cable management. Look, nothing hits the fans. I don't care. All right, you can actually kind of see, this is something I was talking about earlier, that those screws have a bottoming out depth. You can actually kind of see it right in here. You each of these screw holes, the screw is at the same depth. All right. That dust on my SATA drive, but that's not too bad. Okay, so we needed to reroute this one right here. The nice thing is there's plenty of freaking cable to work with. Get all this down and out of our way. I could put more storage in here, but I haven't run into a part where I need it. That might be an upgrade that I'll do once I get to. Ew, why did I do that? Once I get to the point where I'm like looking to upgrade to an M.2. Okay, so there we are. Oh shit. Okay, give me just a moment. Sorry for the camera bouncing all over the place. I just noticed that my stand was about to completely fall off the table. There we go. Alright, so where'd that header go? Okay, it's right here, that hole there, so we need to pass this through that hole right there. Yes, I'm intentionally throwing my voice to sound like a absolute hick. I grew up in the Southeast, but I am not a hick. Okay. So let's see how this is looking. Oh God. Oh God. I am so sorry. Let's try that. Oh Jesus. I broke everything, didn't I? How do I get this? Okay, that's the orientation it needs to be in, but I don't have the. It's colliding with my light now. This is definitely not. Okay. How about now? How's that looking? Upside down, I'm assuming. Yep. Upside down. Okay. It's all right. All right. Okay, cool. Now you can actually see, and it's not awful anymore. So, our SATA cable plugged in. Yes, we do. Take this opportunity to clean up a little bit of the wiring back here in the back. Said it's not the part you'll ever see, so I'm not going to be like too over the top about it, but I've got the opportunity and I've got nothing better to do right this particular second. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to delay the inevitable being me going over there, putting the computer back under my desk, hooking it up, powering it up, and seeing if all of this was for nothing or not. It should be perfectly fine. It was working fine until I fried out my other slot. It would cut on. It would cut on, which means the CPU wasn't doing anything stupid, but it wouldn't post. And anytime it's not posted since I've started messing with this stuff, it has been because of an issue with the RAM. So it should have been telling, actually, right off the rip. I should have just gone ahead and replaced the board the first time I had it, because I mean, this was originally just a pile of parts going to this whole computer was a pile of parts going to a yard for recycling, and I was like, you know what? Let me take these home and see if they still work. See if I can get some more use out of them. And believe it or not, they actually did. Yeah, CPU plug. Still need that over at the front. Oh boy, can I get it to the front without breaking something? Is that a slim possibility? See a hole. Okay, I had a hole. And I can get the wire through that, so that'll work out just fine. Okay. Pop you in there. Going back around, there she is. I hope that's a good LOL, not a bad LOL. Though whoever just said that is probably not even watching anymore. It's been an annoying thing that I've noticed is that people will pop in and say something,
and then just disappear. And it's like, no, come back. The whole purpose of me live streaming instead of just doing edited videos is to interact with other people. All right, that feels like it's plugged in now. There we go. That's what I wanted. That nice click. That's a sign that we put it together correctly. Right? It's a sign that it's done right. Okay. Kind of tuck these wires up and out of the way. Same thing with the CPU fan plug. Get you on tucked on in there. I mean, it's not the cleanest thing, but it's not bad, right? I think it looks pretty good. Huh. But not so much, but that's what we're working on right now, okay? Baby steps. We're going for Gazelle, we're not going for Gazelle. I don't have to learn how to run in 30 seconds to survive doing this. I have to take my time, learn how to walk. We're gonna do this like my kid did. Take our time, learn how to walk. We'll get there when we get there. Ain't no point in killing ourselves. So. I will say it's going to suck if I do decide to massively expand the storage in this thing, because all of the slot. Well, yeah, because I'm using where the damn storage units would go. That's where I'm passing all my freaking wires through. So. Cross that road when we get to it. We'll burn that bridge when we get to it, right? That's fine. That's fine. Everything's fine. Okay. So that's pretty neat, cleaned up. That looks good. I think we're ready to put power to this thing and see if it works. It'll be interesting to see what happens, at least. One thing I can count on is it won't be a dull. I'll either be celebrating and have my computer back working, or I will be cursing mine and everything else's existence. Son of a bitch, back here. Also, I do not know why there are rubberized feet on the back of my computer. It makes sense to have them on the underside of my computer, but no, there is nothing on the underside of my computer. Maybe they planned on people using this like laying on its side or something. I don't want to lay it on its side. There's not enough space on my desk to lay it on its side. And I tried having it up on my desk, but the noise coming off of the old fans and stuff or the GPU's fan, like it was too damn much. I've got like a decent microphone, and it was shining on through. All right, go ahead and put this back on. This is relatively quick and easy to take back off. So if it does not do what it's supposed to do when I initially turn it back on, it's nothing to take this frame back off, or this cover back off, and get in there and start figuring out what's wrong. But realistically, there shouldn't be anything wrong with it at this point. I mean, the only thing I think might interfere with this turning on, and even if it does, it should still post initially, is if it needs a BIOS update. Funny enough, though, I have the BIOS updated, or it would need. No, I don't, because I had a different brand of board. Okay, so I would end up having to go to MSI's website and getting a new BIOS update. But now for the fun part. We got some stickers to put on here. So I'm going to stick this on back here. All right. My age. I got that at Warped Tour in San Antonio, Texas. I had just gotten stationed down there after leaving my Navy boot camp. It's like 98 degrees that day. And I came with a Camelback full of water. They made me dump it out because they were like, "Oh, well, it might be vodka or something." So I dumped a little in my hand and showed them, like, "Look, it's water. It's not nothing in it. Oh, you got to dump it out. It might be something illegal or dangerous." And so to kind of prove my point, I dumped it all over myself, and then went inside and found a water station, refilled it, and went about my day. It's a good time though. Very good time. All right. So we'll stick this little fella. How about we'll do it right here because I got my Ryzen sticker down here. So I'll put this little guy right here above the Ryzen sticker. There we go. Very nice, very nice. And then the Sailor Jerry stickers. These are just, I mean, I'm a bit of a fan, if you can't tell, of old American traditional tattoo styling. So we'll give it a little Sailor Jerryism. Good. Pop that little bastard right there. It's okay, it leans over the side. That's not a big deal. You know why? Because we have the high grade pin bender. And it'll flatten out or tear off on its own. I'm not gonna mess with it much. And then I got our little anchor. That's actually one of the only things I haven't gotten, like Sailor Jerry style. I do have an anchor tattoo, but it was not for me being in the military or in the Navy. Actually, the only one that was for me, what was directly for the Navy, was for my 5-ball on my inner forearm. The only one that's directly because I was in the military. Everything else has different meanings behind it. It's just that was the style that I chose to go with because, again, this is like my absolute favorite art style. I like the bold colors, the sharp lines, and it represents an era of the country that I live in and the military that I served in. It represents an era when they were both just they were a little bit better. Not in the sense of like, you know, social progress or anything. Just people in general had more pride in themselves. I know we still had a lot of work to do when it came to how society was, but people took pride in what they did. They took pride in who they were. They made effort, and that just seems to be something that's long gone now. Nobody wants to put in the effort anymore, be it day-to-day work, life, projects you do, hobbies. You know, it just doesn't really seem like effort is part of the equation anymore. It's saddening to me, at least, because I still try to be somebody that puts a lot of effort into my stuff. You know, I did just say that. I'm saying that as I was just putting, like, talking about how I'm too lazy to fuck with these stickers, which, you know, take that how you will, but all right, moment of truth time. So in just a second, I'm gonna get my camera reset so y'all can see under the mess that is my desk. Again, this is my space, not y'all, so I'm not gonna sit here and be concerned with what people think about the underside of my desk. It's not dirty, or it's not dirty, it's just really, really cluttered. So, Jesus Christ. All right. How am I going to do this? Well, you know what? I'm not going to... You don't need to watch me actually putting the damn thing back together. So, second. I'll let y'all watch as I get the... As we start messing around with whether or not it posts and works again or not. Give me just a moment. I've got to get the camera reset here. The stand is just a little bit unwieldy. Okay, goodbye. All right, good deal. All right. Okay, I can kind of see what's I'm going to have going on under here. That feels a lot like it's going to fall. Damn it. Right about the time I think I've got it set where I want it. It's just not very stable location. Okay, we'll try from here now. Dang, bro, that's some clean cable management. I'm going to assume you're being sarcastic because that's not what I would call clean cable management. Part of my day job is occasionally doing wiring and such in homes, and my cable management in the wire in those homes is far, far, far better than what I just did in that computer. So, all right, so let's take this big old honking computer. Not really. It's really not that big. I mean, it's the heaviest thing in here is a power supply. Get it plugged back in, and we'll see whether or not I fixed it. I really freaking hope I did, because I'm getting damn sick of having to constantly do something with this computer to get it to run right. I don't even know if y'all can hear me. I'm under a freaking desk. So that's my webcam. It's my okay. So you in that one. One of my USBs left. Great. Where's my plug? There's the plug. Okay, that's those. What are you? You are my microphone. Okay. All right, moment of truth. It would help if I turned on the power supply, huh? Okay. All right. See what we got. Okay, no signal on that one's no shit. Oh! Oh. What are we doing, guys? Come on. Come on. Okay. 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 This is boot cycling. Is that what I'm seeing right now? Or might be boot cycling. Nope. Oh. We have BIOS. Okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. This is a very freaking good sign. Okay. BIOS build date 6/28. What BIOS version am I in? E7. Well, let's go ahead and just see. Alright. Speed's looking good. Storage. Okay, it's picking up my
picking up my it's picking up my storage device. That's good. All right, memory. A and B, Corsair. Yep. A fan info. System fan. What? Doesn't seem to be reading one of my fans. Okay, both my CPU and my case fan are both running, so that's good. I can feel that they're both running. That's a pretty good fan curve too. I like that. I don't think I'll ever be at 0 degrees Celsius on my. All right, so I think we're good. I think we're good. Everything's looking. It's all around like cold though. That's interesting. PCIe is warming up a little bit. Oh, maybe it's just now starting to read some of this stuff. All right, let's leave BIOS. Boot my computer up. No. Hey, how do I save? How do I save that? Is there something to save? What is this? What are you talking about? Piece of the shit. Alright. I don't think I changed anything, so why would I? Yeah, I didn't change anything, so yeah, we'll exit without saving. We can always get back into BIOS. Quit without saving. Why is it taking me right back to BIOS every time? I don't want that. Okay. Not made any changes to the BIOS settings. Correct, I have not. So can I just get into my regular computer, please? A little light, my computer says it's fine. I don't like that. I don't know what's causing it to do that, but I don't like that. That works. That worries me a little. All right, you're taking me straight to BIOS again. I don't like that either. Let's see, advanced. What do you got? Overclock, motherboard settings. See, board explorer, hardware monitor. I'm not trying to do any overclocking, so let's do F9. Oh, that's the save overclocking profile. I'm not overclocking. 10. Save configuration. Exit. Okay, so we're on the boot menu then, I guess. And see what we get in there. That still concerns me. Why does it do that? Alright, F11. I'm in the boot menu. Okay, so it's not picking up. USB floppy, Jesus, no. Why is it not booting? I told y'all at the beginning of this video, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm certain there's something really easy that I'm missing, but again, don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So I can't begin to tell you. It seems like everything's running correctly. It's just not letting me into my computer. No. Not looking at flash anything. Hardware monitor. That doesn't help me either. Okay. 10. There. Get to reset again. Specs. So I've got Ryzen 7 5700G, XFX RX 580. I'm running 16 gigs of DDR4, 3600 RAM, cheap power supply, cheap case. Not super high end, but oh damn it, I got distracted. You know, it's a workhorse. It's designed to be a workhorse computer. It's not meant to be a super, like, I'm not running Crysis 4 in 4K and shit like that. Or what? I guess what would the new one be? I guess Starfield is supposed to be. Control F5. Zach, why is it not getting me? Why is it not leaving BIOS? Did I maybe not get maybe the SATA drive's not plugged in all the way or something? It's not booting. That's what I don't get. Actually, yeah, let me see. What are you seeing as far as on the SATA side? Let me check that. Storage. No, you're reading the storage. SATA port 1, 500 gigs. Yeah, that's my hard drive. I'm guessing the ERP has something to do with power management for. Why is it not? If you want to exit BIOS, it should immediately boot the computer up, and it's not doing that. It gives me that. I wonder if there's a BIOS flashing jumper on the board. I didn't think of that. A lot of these boards, they come pre-installed with a jumper on the board. Maybe that's what it's doing. It's just consistently resetting it and sending me back into BIOS. Pretty sure it might. No, of course not, because this doesn't have actual instructions. It just pictures. I want pictures. Okay. Yeah, let's check that out. Let's see if maybe that's my issue. Power down the computer. Oh, shit. Cut the supply off, pull the main power cord. Bring y'all down here with me so I can see what the hell I'm doing, because this is right now my best source of light. Son of a bitch. Come on. Let me see. I think I know that the other board I had, there's a jumper on there that might be doing what's going on right now. Let's see. The real shitty part is it's going to be underneath the graphics card, so it's going to be fucking difficult to get to. But
That's all right. That's what we have insulated pliers and such for. Need some more light down here too. What do I got in the way of light? I guess this one. I think I'm watching the stream on. Let's see. There we go.
Okay, what do we got? What do we got? What do we got? There should be 3 pins. And they'll have like a little jumper on them, right? Well, no, that probably won't have that because this has a flash BIOS button instead of a jumper to flash the BIOS. This does very much seem to be something that is software driven, not hardware driven. I think that I have correctly put the computer back together. There's just something I don't like about what I'm doing. And I gotta figure out what. Wonderful. Checked in the SATA port just fine. We know that because it was showing up on there. Why are you reflashing yourself after every time? Okay, so there's no jumper.
So let's put some power back to it.
Maybe we just needed a second to take a breather. I don't know. I don't know. I've said it before, I will say it again. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing.
This is probably something that is better left to professionals, but why on earth would I do such a thing as leaving it to professionals? All right. It's very slow to turn on, too. That's interesting. Oh, that might have something to do with it. Okay, so it takes me straight into BIOS again. Not made any changes, save and leave it. Now it's doing that shit again. What the hell is that? I don't know. It's alright though. Plan for this eventuality. I'm not going to sit here and bore y'all to death with me trying to right here. I'm not going to sit here and bore y'all to death with me trying to figure out what the hell is wrong with this computer. I'm not doing it. This is going to probably end up being something that takes me a couple hours. Hell, who knows? It might take me 10 minutes and I'll have it figured out. But if not, I'm not going to spend all day on a live stream trying to fix this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the stream off for now. Figure out why this computer is not working, get it back to working. Because like I said, I think it's a software issue. I probably need a BIOS update. I probably need to do something on the board that I didn't know about because this is what I got for instructions. Ain't no telling. But depending on how much time I've got, once I get done getting it right, I'll try to do another stream today. If I do, we'll be playing Fallout again. I'll try and get another stream back up and going. It could be 10 minutes. It could be next week before I stream again. But thank y'all for coming with me while I put this computer back together. And as soon as I get it working again, I will, if not make a stream, I'll at least make a video and I'll post it to the channel saying what went wrong. Thanks for the couple people that showed up. I appreciate y'all talking in the comments. But yeah, I'm gonna cut the stream here and I will be back
As soon as this fucking computer's working.